Good afternoon, Clearview Fire. It's definitely been a few weeks since I've updated you guys last with a video, but to be perfectly honest with you, there just hasn't been a whole heck of a lot going on. Business as usual, and thanks to all you guys and girls, things have actually been running seamlessly. So, we did catch a little bit of a break in the sense that some of the more significant calls have definitely been down. All calls in general, in fact, over the same time period, over the last 2.5 months from last year and the year before, we're actually down 25% of the calls that we typically do. So, I think the decrease in traffic and MVCs and people still a little apprehensive to call 911 to go to the hospital has certainly been a big contributor to that. So, we caught a bit of a break, but on the same token, I just want to say thanks to everybody for doing what you do and stepping up, because running this department throughout this has been pretty seamless. So thank you once again. A little bit of a status update here and kind of in some feedback from that survey that we sent out. So thank you to everybody who supplied answers. One of the things that was definitely apparent was with respect to training. So in hearing what you guys have had to say and the desire to get back to training, I'm sure probably a lot of you know that Training Officer Spears had been laid off just due to a work shortage and the absence of training in general. So he's going to be reinstituted on Monday. He's going to be putting together a training program, and in 2 weeks time from that, so that would put us at June 15th. We are going to resume training. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a modified training schedule as to what we were used to. The desire to stay with platoons moving forward still exists, so stations will train in their assigned platoons, and because we don't want to be mixing stations, we're also going to have to look at scheduling a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night training. We might be able to provide some leeway on the Friday night training, but these are some of the things that Training Officer Spears is going to be looking at over the next little while here. So with that being said, Platoon A, say as an example, will train on the week of the 15th. Just for the sake of argument, Station 1 on Monday, Station 3 on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. And then the following week, we will switch that around, and Platoon B will start their training. So it will just kind of be a cycle like that. We're going to keep training outdoors, so we don't want everybody inside the buildings. We're going to try and do some nice tangible stuff, water supply, pulling hose lines, things of that nature, maybe some forcible entry. One of the things that we definitely want to focus on as well is keeping the trainings a little bit shorter, and I would like to incorporate some form of small truck check in there as well, because those have been missing. I'm not too concerned in the sense that because the calls are being run by the same individuals all week, it's a little easier to maintain that stuff. However, I think if we can look at about an hour and a half worth of training, followed by about 45 minutes or half an hour of truck check, I think that's going to be very beneficial with respect to a reintegration and keeping things running as smooth as they have been. The other thing I want to start looking at is things are starting to recover are the de-escalation and essentially the ceasing of the birthday drive-bys and the kind of different little things that we've been doing there. I want to extend my sincerest thank you to everybody who was part of those birthday drive-bys. The goodwill that generated was absolutely fantastic. The smiles and the lifted spirits and the, making some poor kid's birthday who couldn't do anything, absolutely unbelievable. So thank you very much. I knew when we were taking this on, it was going to be a big undertaking, but honestly, I had no idea that every resident within the township of Clearview had a birthday in the months of April and May. So anyhow, thank you for that. And as I've certainly done in the past, I just definitely want to thank your families for their understanding, for their support, for everything else that they've been doing to allow you to continue to respond and protect the residents and the visitors to our area. Very, very awesome indeed. Outside of that, the only thing that I did forget to mention there with respect to when we do the trainings, I do have masks for everybody, some cloth masks. We still want to try and minimize our exposure to other people. And my expectation is that as everybody starts to kind of release and start to do the things that they're doing, the numbers are going to spike again. So I don't mind delaying this a few weeks and staying behind the curve. And if stuff starts to spike, we might modify our plan and we might not go ahead as scheduled. But I think that's going to be, the next couple of weeks are going to be a good bit of insight as to how things are going. On that note, just kind of a quick little point here. Over the last couple days, numbers have spiked and we have the highest reported number of cases that we've had in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I think that's a good indicator that as people start to return to normal life, we're obviously going to see an increase in cases. So outside of that, I hope everybody has a great weekend. And just once again, I would just like to thank you and your families for doing what you do and making the fire department look like a bunch of rock stars throughout all of this. So thank you very much. Be safe, and we will chat at you soon. Bye.